What's going on, everybody? It's Cortez the Conqueror. I've actually got a really special thing that I'm working on here, and it's something that's pretty close to my heart, and it is big pharma and the cannabis aspects that we can replace a lot of these prescription pills with. And then I want to touch on different topics, different aspects of cannabis pain management, but I also want to touch on the opioid epidemic as well. One of the areas that was really affected was the South, the Appalachians. We know, well, I'm not sure how much I can get into it on YouTube without them like dinging my videos. So I don't want to talk about like Purdue Pharma and the Sackler family too much, but it might be a good Google search for you guys. But I wanted to get a guest that could kind of bring it in a little bit closer, somebody that's got a little bit more firsthand experience. So I got my buddy Chance here. He goes by, what do you go by on Instagram? Just so everybody knows, go ahead and give yourself a shout out, Captain Morgan.
Yeah, I go by, first of all, I appreciate you, brother. And I go by Captain Morgan
Oh, yeah.
officially underscore between the names on Instagram and Captain Morgan official. Same thing on TikTok.
All right. If you guys want to find the Instagram link, I'm actually going to drop it at the bottom of the screen here.
I
That way
appreciate
people
it,
go
brother.
ahead and check it out. So what's some things you've seen, man? Like what would that have been? Like maybe late 90s, early 2000s, the doctors started writing them prescriptions?
Yeah, I'm from southwestern Virginia, so a lot of people mix that up. They're like, "Oh, you're from West Virginia," but no, we're right down the road, right in the coal fields, man. About 45 minutes from Eastern Kentucky, about an hour from West Virginia, 45 minutes from Tennessee, where I'm at now.
A
Um,
little coal mining town, huh?
Yeah, that's all that was around there. My great grandfather was
Hell yeah.
president of one of the biggest outfits there back in the 80s and early 90s. I went into it, family's into it, and my entire adult life underground. So, but as far as the opioids, man, it's a whole different game when you're coming from the mountains like that because you're completely shut off. With my town, my graduating class was 28 people. The town is one way in and one way out, and that's one road that starts on one end and one road that starts on the other end, and they both go the same direction. So, but it's honestly, man, I was born in '90. I was raised by a good family. I come from they were either educated or they worked, but man, it was heaven on earth back in my small town. Like I said, a graduating class, 28
Right, right.
people. I remember about 98 was the first overdose that I remember hearing about, and that was morphine. That was before the
Oh,
OCs was really getting to where people really get a hold of them. And then, man, after
right.
that,
To where it kind of went like mainstream, just about anybody and their aunt could get their hands on them.
yeah, what it was that we had so many coal miners in the area and so many railroad workers, people that had really carried that small town life and economy on their backs. And a lot of people don't work. So, you got a lot of people, just a lot of bad stuff, poverty going on anyway. And what it was, they started handing out all these pills. They guinea pigged us, man. I remember back at
Right.
Dateline talking about Coburn, Virginia, which is like 8 miles from my house. And when I was younger, and then the cool kids were getting a hold of the 80s, the OC 80s, and then you start hearing about them, they was shooting them and everything like that. You never heard about meth, man, and then here recently is when the meth really came. But everybody was smoking pot, man. When I was in elementary school, everybody was potheads, sixth, seventh grade, and
Right.
that was the thing, man. And I never did it.
Having a good old time.
I waited till I was like 27, 28 to start smoking pot, man.
Really? No shit.
Best thing ever happened to me too, dude. Slung a whole lot of it. I was working in the mines, just a little bit of extra money, whatever here and there, hang out and everything. But it honestly saved my life because I was getting pure heroin. We were getting pure fentanyl. It would come and it would come with a whole set. It would come with the sometimes it was infamil, things like that, and already pre ready to mix up and everything like that. But I was doing a heroin lace with fentanyl. Knew it was in there. I don't really do nerve pills, but I was getting to where it was. I got to a point in my life where I was like, well, man, I'm just going to keep working in the coal mines, and I'm just going to die on drugs because there's no way I could ever be happy again without it. And methamphetamine was a really big problem for me because I was trying to stay at work, and I meth for 2 years, fully functioning father, good dad, doing what I needed to do, going to work, good friend, and I started smoking weed, man. One time I got so bad off because I got some really good comedy opportunities, man, and was making a lot of money and made a lot of friends. I mean, I got some of the most famous people in the world follow me on Instagram, because they watched from the beginning what I went through at 145 pounds, and I'm 220 now. I'm supposed to be. I woke up one day, man.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. And it's been a journey with God. Honestly, God's what's really got me here. But I'll give myself a little bit of credit. But honestly, man, I know that you're kind of focusing on the cannabis. I don't know if you want to call it the industry or whatever, just the whole idea and subject of period. But I've watched my friends, the ones that have survived, which is two to this day. I have two friends that are left that aren't putting a needle in their arm, or already dead or in prison,
Right.
looking at that are already been sentenced to at least 15. Some of them life. My daughter's mom's well in jail for screen murder, and she's been there since 2016. So even
Right.
because of dope. But man, honestly, I stayed up 4 or 5 days at a time, hanging out with the glow stick man that was digging holes down by the pond. Living in my parents' basement, and I woke up one day and I was like, man, I blew all kinds of opportunities, and just quit. Just went home to my mom's house and just locked in for a whole year, man, and sat down for a year and I wrote and I started smoking because I always grew it. Even
Yeah.
I,
Hell yeah.
I'm in Virginia, so we, the good tobacco land and everything, and
Got green thumb, fertile
yeah, we're
soil.
good at that.
That's
We're
all
good
you
at that.
really need.
Yeah, dude, that's how a lot of people, pay for tractor tires, just whatever, a little bit on the
Oh
side.
yeah.
And
Good
I
old
started
barter
smoking.
system out there, huh?
Yeah, dude, and where I
Do
had,
a little bit of horse trading. Fuck it.
yeah, dude, my family's cattle farmers. So I grew up on a big farm, but it's still there. So I grew up planting cow shit and creeks, Well, you might have seen my video on Instagram or TikTok I posted. We still have a lot of straight pipes. Our creeks are still full of human shit. It's got there's tampons and all kinds of crazy stuff that you just. So we're
Look
pretty
like somewhere
primitive.
in Mexico.
It's crazy, dude. People don't. There's people like, oh, this isn't real. I'm like, no, you don't understand the poverty that comes with the coal towns and stuff. Because ain't
Oh
nobody down
yeah.
there, man. But as far as the pot, man, FJ Outlaw. I don't know if you know who he is. He's the
I'd have to
artist.
look him up.
Great guy. Shout out FJ Outlaw, one of my best friends.
Big
But
shout out.
Yeah, man. And we were in Alabama, and up until I was 28, I probably smoked pot 10 times in my life, and I hit a dab with him for the first time. And when I was in active addiction on Go Fast, and
Right. Hell yeah.
it
And I bet that
completely,
dab still puts you on your ass.
bro. And this was back when I don't even, man. Like I said, it's about 2017 somewhere in there, so I was still
Right.
spun off, and I started smoking where I'd waited so long to smoke, and I didn't realize, well, it was so great to me because I hadn't completely smoked my entire life. And then once I transitioned,
Right.
I literally, I could sleep, I could think. I have horrible ADHD, PTSD,
You're not the only one.
right?
You're not alone on that one, my friend.
And honestly, dude, if it wasn't for, God, pot, my family, and I know a lot of people, I catch a lot of hell, man. People like, it ain't the pot. The pot ain't, dude. I don't care what anybody says, man. I know what it is. I know what it does for me. I know how it works. I would know because when I was smoking meth and snorting pills, bad shit happened. When I
Yeah.
smoke pot, it doesn't matter. If bad shit happens, it's probably because I fell asleep and forgot.
All of
So
a sudden, you got money again. You put a little bit of weight back on. You have
yeah,
things
man.
again. You're able to be there for your family, not only financially, but also that time to where you're not like looking out windows. You know what I mean?
Exactly, dude. I was able to my whole life. My teachers, they were like, "You're so smart. You can do anything." Because I write. I ghostwrite. That's how I got. I was able to move to Tennessee with the help of my family and stuff. Because I've got a great structure with my family,
Yeah.
and I got a huge writing gig, a huge life changing gig, and all because of my comedy and stuff that I post. And somebody reached out
Right.
and was like, "I got 6 figures for just a bonus for writing for 6 months." And man, I started
That's
putting
the
all these
dream, man.
words. Yeah, coming from 10 years under working anywhere from 500 feet to 15 miles underground. Freezing in the winter and cooking in the summer, and killing myself.
Everything in
Literally.
between.
Yeah, man. Coal miner, love it. I miss it every day. But
Oh yeah.
once I
Probably
straightened
feel a
up,
little guilty every now and again that you ain't working that hard no more. You're making all that money, huh?
man,
Like,
and
man.
and
Start
still to
looking
this,
around like, is this a joke?
yeah, dude. And to this day, man, I went. I work at a body shop now, man. Working on state trooper vehicles, the
Oh, I
county
saw that
sheriff.
video the other day. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
Them
Yeah,
little bastards were in the back with that burn pile.
yeah, man. You think that's gonna catch them trees on fire, man? But dude, honestly, man, coming from the coal fields, a lot of people, you can see a lot of comedy and stuff, a lot of movies, things, and I still to this day have not seen anything close. Other than the Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. Shout out the Whites. I love them. A lot of them are good friends of mine. um, Great
Oh, I've
people.
seen that documentary. I think Johnny Knoxville had like a
Yep.
part in it, right? Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I've seen that. I've seen that.
Yeah, Boone County, man, and that's as close as you're gonna get to actuality. You know what I mean? The reality.
Right,
I got buddies that I was talking to my girlfriend the other day. I know girls that I remember when I was in elementary school and or in not 10th grade, and girls were being solicited out by their moms. At parties. Like I remember being at parties in a trailer, be 30 or 40 people there, and people would drop. I You'd look at 13, 14-year-old girls walking in and out of them trailers and stuff, man. I was 18, 19 partying and stuff. And you know what's going on. The cops know what's going on. The whole county knows
right, right,
what's
right.
going on. Everybody knows the parents. Mom's working for the county telling on everybody, but it's crazy, man. My old lady, I've saved three of my friends' lives in 3 weeks. Stepped over two different bodies in two different trailers in two different counties in Southwest Virginia, all within the 60 days of leaving and moving to Tennessee. And that was on top of getting sober at the time.
Right, right, right.
It was grabbing me, man, putting its claws in me as I was leaving out of there.
So let me ask you this though. So you're somebody that's, been to hell and back. You've been in the depths of addiction, whatever you want to call it, within the hold of it. If somebody was listening to this right now that was maybe going through something similar, that wanted to kick a opioid issue, or they were starting to think about like, this is something that would be a good idea, like what's some advice you would give them? Like what's some of the steps? Like anybody that has a similar issue, or somebody going through opioid dependency, because a lot of people actually come to the grow community because they want to escape opioids or like heroin use. And like one big thing, like I've had my substance issues, whatever, like never opioids though. But at the same time, just from somebody that's like, dealt with some addiction and stuff, I know one of it is it's kind of like lifestyle or like the little habits that we got, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like replacing them fucked up habits for replacing them with better habits, but like occupying your time. I don't want to guide your answer, but I'm just kind of throwing that out there a little bit. But what would your advice be to somebody that like wanted to get away from that shit, from the heroin?
Well, first of all, I would throw them a little bit of information that I don't hear given out a lot, and that is that people don't understand why it's so hard to just kick it and leave it and go. Why don't, man? You got your life, you got this. You're. I skate a lot, so we use that skating and skiing. Man, you're a great skateboarder. You can ski, man. You love that shit. You can do this. You can write. You can do whatever. All this stuff, dude. You got some money, you got a good job, you got a trade, you could take your family wherever. Well, the first thing is that once you've done heroin, all that shit's not fun anymore because you've been so high. It ain't a roller coaster in this world that's ever going to get you that high at this point. But you got to remember that that stuff's slowly going to build back up. What you've done is that once you get so high, it's like drinking water.
Depleting your
Yeah,
what
you
is it,
drink.
the serotonin
Well, it's the
levels, or
serotonin. It's your
yeah,
your
all
receptors.
kind of shit.
Your dopamine.
Dopamine, yeah,
Yes.
serotonin and dopamine, because that
Yeah.
shit's just firing.
Yeah, and you don't get it out of those things. So first of all, that would be the first thing I would explain because a lot of people is the confusion is what's so frustrating, what leads people down to the dark, and that where you want to just run into a gas pump. Um, so that would be the first thing I would explain that everything's going to suck for a while because nothing's that good. Second of all, forgive yourself completely and 100% because everything that you can achieve now because of what you have the doors that you've opened and ended up in because of the things that you've chosen to do have led you and put hindrances on the things now. That's just forgive yourself. Oh well, nobody's looking back saying you're not that person anymore, especially if you're continually doing better. Third, and my most important, I put these two together. I put good people people that have the same interests and same views and same values. Don't be around somebody just because they're a good person. Just because you love them, don't mean they're not a piece of shit. And even if they love you back, don't mean that they're not going to hurt your life. And I keep that close with God because I think God put the few people that are left in my life because everything has lined up so perfectly. And that is just listen to Him. And if you feel bad getting in that car and riding to the store with somebody that you know is going to be whatever or got something or something's going to happen, walk away, talk to God constantly, pray. If you're thinking and you're not doing something that you need your mind directly on to save your life and keep from cutting a finger off, be throwing them up. But other than that, man, I would just say love yourself, get to a point to where you take care of yourself, get some steps, go back to some things that you loved in your childhood that you feel like you missed out and forgot completely that don't matter right now. Kind of just delve back into some of those smaller things, whether it's a video game you used to like to play. I collect action figures, Crash Dummies, and Ninja Turtles from the days back before the bad shit happened. But that would be my main things, brother. I mean, to cut it short in a nutshell, without dragging.
Right, right.
But yeah,
It's so cool though, man. Like that's kind of really the goal behind this. Like if just through this podcast we could just have that one person hear us, like if we could just save one life from doing this recording.
and the main thing that I was going to say, I'm so sorry, I did not mean to interrupt you. First of all, I
No,
was
go
getting,
ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I was tying into the whole do fun things. That another fun thing is cannabis is weed. That's my thing. I do it for creativity. I do it at different times. I can't do it in the morning just because
Right,
that's just the way
right.
it works. It has never had a negative effect on me. Never has it
Yeah.
negatively. I will go to sleep and I will lose motivation. Just because not lose
Maybe get the
motivation in
munchies
my
a little
heart.
bit.
I won't lose the motivation in my heart, but I will lose it in my mind for a while. And
Right, right, right.
and I believe that honestly, structuring the way you're doing it and who you're doing it with, your company, is a big deal. Is a really, really, really big deal. Your timing, rituals, I guess you would call it. Some people would call it. That is an
Right.
important thing because I take that time to completely reflect, chill out, and breathe. I just I just want people to know, man. I just hate the stigma because no matter where you go, is that you're a pothead, you're a dopehead, man. Like,
Yeah.
but honestly, man, if I could put it out there to people, like I said, it honestly, I never got off drugs. I never stopped drinking. I was an alcoholic too. So, but dude, honestly, weed. I
Yeah.
mean, good weed, good people, and it being applied the way it can be
Good
applied. People
vibes.
like you, I want to really, really, really impress the fact that I have a good buddy of mine that has been in the shit and same thing, the ordeal you got going on, in the industry and things like that. And I listen to people that know things, and that's where you got to get your information from. Network, listen to people, talk to people, because it's medicine, man. It's a medicine that can come from 1,000 different directions at one time, and work in every aspect. So, but that was the one thing that I was leaving out. So I'm glad you added
Hell
it.
yeah. Yeah. It'll be all right though. But
But
no, so you know what I mean? It's just kind of, I guess that's really the thing that I'm trying to impress on people. That's like, you know how they kind of say that like you're only basically as good as somebody that you talk to for no reason in the course of your day. Have you ever heard that?
that makes sense because that's you're content, and I think being content is one of the worst things that can ever happen to you.
Right, right, right. But it's
Just
kind of like
falling on your ass.
switching your surroundings, switching the people that you're around. But then it's kind of like stopping like those little habits. You know what I mean? It's like, maybe I can have a cocktail, but if I drink three or four of them, I might want a bag of cocaine. Or it's,
Right.
hey, if I go hang out with this guy down the street, if you got some type of opioid issue. It's like, he likes to snort a little heroin. So if I go over there, he might try to get me to go in like half on a bag with him.
Yeah, I
Or,
probably
you
shouldn't
know
be
what I
watching
mean?
the
It's
Super
kind
Bowl
of,
down there.
yeah, it's kind of like, I guess, looking ahead to the future and kind of like spotting those little potholes that are in the road that you can kind of fall in. You know what I mean?
Preventative maintenance.
Hell yeah.
Preventative maintenance. But like you said again, that's kick the camera. But like you said again, that's carefully placing who and what, your environment. I told my buddy a couple weeks ago, and I've always said it.
Let's say people, places, and things. People, places, and things.
Yep. I always tell everybody, man, stop changing yourself for your environment and change your environment for yourself. Until you do that, nothing's going to change. If it does change, it's digressing, I promise. It ain't going forward or getting bigger.
Man. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, man. I really do want to thank you for your time here. Why don't you go ahead and give yourself a shout out again, though, and tell people how they can find you on your social medias?
Yeah, my Instagram. I do a lot of comedy skits. I am a performing stand-up comedian. I got fall dates coming soon. My Instagram handle is Captain_Morgan_officially. My TikTok is Captain_Morgan_official. And there are some fakes out there. My Instagram is verified, and my TikTok has 190,000 followers right at it somewhere, give or take. But Channing Tatum and Billy Strings and all kinds of cool people fucking follow me on Instagram, so y'all should too.
If you guys look in the description for this video, I'm going to have clickable links for all of his socials, by the way, too. You want to check them out?
Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate
Hell
you.
yeah. Do you got any projects you're working on? Maybe something we should look out for in the not too distant future? What should we watch out for that's dropping?
Right now, actually, I am on a journey, like I said, with God, especially coming from the craziness of my comedy and the extremity of some of the things that I say and do. But that's the reality of it. So I'm working on integrating real storytelling, and bringing it around full circle, and writing, finishing my book. I've got about 1,000 pages wrote, and none of it, there's no beginning and no end. So I'm working on that, but I'm looking to construct it and make it a lot more solidified as for a more vast audience, to where everybody because I'm wanting to reach from people that have no clue about the hollers and hills and the straight pipes of Southwest Virginia.
All right.
So, but other than that, man, it's going to stay the same on my socials. I'm going to keep pushing out content, keep praying, keep pushing the message of God, and try to get better as a better person, and just
Most
put out some
definitely.
good shit, man.
I think some of us need to come a little bit closer to God, you know what I mean? Or just kind of come to terms with even the people that are like, don't know how to feel about religion, or it makes them feel like uncomfortable. Like, if you don't choose religion, at least find something. I think that's even like an AA thing. They say some type of higher power, even if it's like some guy you call Bob or something. My
Yeah.
uncle used to go to AA meetings. He's a Vietnam vet. He's pretty ate up.
Yeah, you got to have people. You got to have a presence. You got to have a presence, or I promise you, the darkness will show up. The more you invite it, and the more that you don't
Hmm.
even have to invite it these days. There's so much of it. If you're not at least putting up a little bit of a wall of light, darkness gonna swallow it all, man. And I'm
What do
about,
they say about the narrow doorways and the wide doorways? That's one parable that comes to my mind on that one.
dude. I don't know, but for some reason, when you said that, I saw it, and I was thinking about the whole God devil thing, and it terrified me. So
Start.
must be some good shit.
Hell yeah.
Damn.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah, dude. Ain't no fun in that.
Yeah, nah. But guys, until next time, and I definitely want to have you back on again as a guest, man. But until next time, let's go ahead and sign off for everybody.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, man. Thanks for. What's going on, everybody? It's Cortez the Conqueror. Just wanted to remind you guys that you can save 10% on all Real Growers products. Check out my new affiliate website, www.realgrowers.com/Cortez for more details. But over there, you can save 10% store-wide, and any orders over $50 in the continental United States enjoy free shipping.